Hello, and welcome to another Live at 5 here at Search of Snowboarding. We go live every Monday at this time, 5 o'clock, and watch some snowboarding, get stoked for snowboarding, and yeah, just hang out. It's going to be a good time. Today we are watching 3 edits that have dropped in the last week, 2 weeks. I think they've all dropped in the last week. The first is going to be the ATV part from Deeluxe's 4-part series they're dropping from here on out. This is the first one that dropped in this last week, and we'll also be watching the new Korua edit, which came out in the last couple days. Some fun turning on film from Japan, and then we're going to end it off with the DIYX STRT Jam edit that came out in the last week as well. There's some hammers in there, some mayhem, and a lot of chaos. That's going to be a fun one to watch. We're getting rolling. We're getting closer to the season. We just got snow overnight in Colorado. It just snowed here in Aspen. We got about 6 inches on top of Aspen Mountain and a bunch down low, which was really nice to wake up to. I know Copper got about 20 inches in the deepest parts where they received snow last night, so it's coming. It was really exciting, to wake up and feel like it was winter again and feel that stoke for snowboarding for the first time of the season, really. But maybe we're just going to hang out, wait a few minutes till we got some more people tuning in. If you've been staying up on snowboard content, you've been seeing a lot of footage of riders hitting big jumps, and that has mainly been coming from the Prime Park sessions at Snowboard in Austria. It's been wild seeing the hammers coming out of that place. Prime Park sessions is where they have a public park open, but they also have a mega pro jump open to riders that have the pro pass, and we've been seeing a bunch of 2160s go down, a bunch of 1800s go down. We saw Ian Metellio put a cab 2160 down yesterday. Saw Brock Crouch throwing a sick back 1800 today, something Burton just posted in the last hour or two. And people are dialing in new tricks, going big, and all the top riders are there right now. So I bet it's some high energy going down over there in Austria right now. It'd be cool to be there, but maybe we will one day soon. But without further ado, let's get the show on the road and watch our first edit that we got for today. This is Midwest Streets, part 1 of Deeluxe's 4-part series called ATV. And coming from them, this is what we got. Despite a low snow year, Sam Klein, Emily O'Connor, and Gibby Corcoran didn't let anything slow them down. Armed with grit, style, and a solid crew, they hit the streets of the Midwest and came back with gnarly footage. Enjoy a few minutes of raw street snowboarding and gnarly spot selection in Midwest Streets, the first part of Deeluxe's ATV video series. We got Jeff in the chat. How you doing? South of Breck over here. Breck got hella snow. How much snow is what I want to know. We didn't get as much here in Aspen, but it seems like everywhere else got a little more, which was okay because we don't open for, another 4 weeks here in Aspen. Also wondering when Breck's projected to open. I know Keystone and A-Basin opened this past weekend. I'm not sure if we're going to head over there. It's a little bit of a haul for us to go for early season riding for just a couple of runs over at those places. We've got Loveland to open this weekend. I don't think they're going to have many runs open. It sounds like just one lift and one run at Loveland. But they will be hosting their annual demo days, which is for retailers, snowboard shop owners, shop kids, workers, and it's where everybody can ride some new gear. So we were looking at going to demo days, but it'd be like 5 hours of driving in total to ride one run, so we're going to skip out on that. Cameron, what's up? Bachelor got hammered too? Looked like 16 inches. Breck opens on Friday. Okay, so we got Breck opening on Friday and Loveland this weekend. I don't know if that means Friday or Saturday, but it's happening. We're getting rolling. Jeff, I wonder if you got to ride yet at A Basin or Keystone. It looked like there was a lot of people there stoked for opening day for Summit County. And yeah, I can't wait to get after it, but I think it's going to be a few weeks till I'm riding lifts here in Colorado. But we'll see. That's why we're here at the lab at 5 to just get stoked for boarding, and that's what we're going to do. So let's tune up the first video we got for today, ATV. There are some hammers from Sam Klein. He's got, it's kind of split up into parts. He's got the last part, if you will, some really big rails, and yeah, pretty crazy stuff. I had one watch through on this, and it's a fun watch. So let's tune her up. Leave some love in the comments for these videos that we'll be watching, especially big tricks that spoke to you or anything else. Let's see. Here we go. ATV Part 1, Midwest Streets. I like little animations on the start of this guy. Although it doesn't make a deluxe boot look that good.
What?
Big gnarly backflip, Emily O'Connor. That looks like a dirty gnarly spot. This is one thing I have a slight issue with, and I'm gonna have to pause it real quick to run it back. Where we at? Hold on, let's run that back real quick. I'm gonna be doing some pausing and commentary as we go. But since when are we skipping down flat downs to just use the top stair set as a drop in to only hit the last down? Come on, and to start the video off like that? That's the one thing that didn't get me that stoked. Would have been sick to hit the whole rail. Good 50-50. And we got Gibby. Sketchy. That is a good way to get messed up, is running into a hole on a run out. One thing to take note of, especially in Gibby's part here, is almost every trick has 2 or 3 camera angles, which makes it that much more legit. That's a nice big long down flat down. And we got Sam Klein coming in. Starting off heavy. Front nose. Straight from the Midwest. Alright, this is gnarly. First of all, gotta have to pause that real quick. Big feature, right? Look how narrow the little run-in is right here. I know he's got a big hill for a lot of speed, but man, I would want that a little wider if it was me. 50, 270 gap, that is massive. That's one of my favorite tricks in this. To switch too. Backflip 50. Sam Klein style. Big rail. It's like a damn breezy big rail.
Dude, this man's a legend, bro.
F2 on. This rail is super cool, especially because the flat kind of dips in and it sets them up real nice for that back lift transfer. I like that a lot. And then we got the gnarliest rail ever. Look how long that thing is. Count it. 100% count it. 50 all the way to the end. Let's run it back real quick. Gotta run that one back. Look how long that rail is. And especially to start with that really long down into all those kinks, you're just building so much speed that of course he got, you know, kind of kicked to the last one. But props on that rail, man. Like, he had to just like creep onto the start so he didn't have too much speed to start, but that was big. That was sick. And a back 52. Okay, this spot, if you guys watched the videos we put out from riding at Copper this summer, we ran into this train tunnel spot off the highway. It's kind of, if you're going from like mid-turn to Leadville, and we went and checked it out, and it was really cool. And when I saw this, I was like, yo, we were there. That's so sick. And I wondered if it'd be like a place that you could ride, and these guys did. Check it out. No backflip, failed. And then just a little cab under flip. Gap rail, front forward. This is sick too. Really long nail slide. Nose and tail. Pretzel 270 out. That's what we're talking about. Slam, climb.
I love you guys.
Love you too.
The cheering at the end there
I'm all done.
reminds me of those memes of like, I don't know if you guys remember, but there's like all these memes of like people doing sick stuff, skate stuff, snowboard stuff, and it'd be like, my grandma filmed me, and they'd do a sick trick, and in the background you'd hear like, yay, good job. That's exactly what that reminded me of. the like slight homie hype. We got Jeff saying, I'm waiting on my merchant pass. Roommate rode at Keystone opening day. He says it wasn't bad, but Matt heads out and dangerous trying to avoid people. That's what I would assume, and that's why I'm kind of staying over here in Aspen until we get going. Like it's I'm all for it if you just get out and turn, but like for me, doing like a 2 to 2.5 hour drive both ways to deal with a lot of people and a lot of sketch, I'll pass on that. I've had enough of that in my life of shredding that I'm not chomping at the bit hard enough to make the trip to do that. But hey, patiently waiting. It's all good. We luckily got to board in Argentina in September, so like I'm like filled up right now as much as I could be. Like that's why I'm not like going out crazy to like go get, you know, first turns of the season. We do have our little preseason setup here at Snowmass called the Boneyard. There was a homie or two up there last week when we only got a couple inches, so I wonder if anybody headed up there today. When it's like this and we only have 6 inches, it's a little more dirt boarding than anything else, and still a little sketchy. So before I'm gonna head up there, we're gonna need a little bit more snow. So I don't know if the Boneyard will fully go for me or not. We got some people in the chat. What did you guys think of that first ATV part from Deeluxe? I wonder if they're gonna split it up between like street stuff and backcountry, split boarding, whatever. But it was cool that was strictly Midwest street section. If they break it up in parts for locations, I think that would be cool too. And hopefully they drop one a week. They haven't announced when the next one will come out or what their schedule is for that. But I like it. I like it. The next video we got up next is different style, a little more soul boarding. This is Korua's latest edit that they came out with in the last week, called Mochi Yuki. Yuki means snow, and I looked it up, and Mochi maybe means holding in certain situations, so Mochi Yuki I think means holding snow. You see the new DIYX vid yet? I have not, and the reason I haven't is because I haven't had time to like fully sit down and enjoy it, and I don't want to just half watch it. That will be a film that we're going to watch here on the Live at 5, and I think we might watch it next week. If you want to come and tune in and leave your thoughts on it. I heard it's my one homie that was talking about it said it was maybe his favorite DIYX movie that's come out. That's the Spirit video, and I'm really excited to see it. Reed Smith from the DIYX just turned pro this past weekend, which is really cool to see. Reed's from New Jersey, and so am I. We rode together when we were younger, but he's quite younger than me, so I was about 14 and he was probably like 8. So we weren't like homies because of the, like as tight of homies as we could have been because of the age difference, but we were on the same snowboard team riding out in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. So it was really cool to see him turn pro this weekend for Ride. Yeah. And also, he got the cover for Slush. I think that's the first Slush issue of the season. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Our boy Reed holding it down. So, you know, real casually going from getting the cover, turning pro. I think he's probably got some shots in the Spirit video, but he's also in the latest Videograss movie, Search Party. I have yet to see that either, but really excited to see that too. So yeah, next week we'll be watching DIYX, the Spirit video. And if you guys have any other videos, whether they're new or older classics, let us know what we should watch here at the Live at 5. But without further ado, let's get into this new Korua edit. If you guys are familiar with Korua, you know their edits are mainly all about just turning and good feeling, boarding and powder. And this is no different. This is coming out of Japan trip, I would assume last year. And this is what they have to say about it. Mochi Yuki captures the essence of a different kind of Japan trip, one where we spent more time with locals at events and took the opportunity to connect in a more meaningful way. From riding with friends around Yote to moments of beauty and laughter captured by photographer/filmmaker Matt Foley, this trip felt like one of those rare experiences you truly get to savor. And that's what I want. We were in Japan last year, and we were on a filming trip, so it felt like we were working. But we were really like soaking our energy into like getting the best shots we could. We did have amazing times outside of snowboarding, going to some karaoke bars and seeing some local things, although that was not the mission of the trip. Although it seemed like this video is maybe a trip they were going more so for that. We got a lot of dope riders like Nicholas Wolkin in this. If you know Nicholas, you know he's all about good looking, smooth feeling turns, and that's exactly what we're gonna get. So let's check it out. Korua, Mochi Yuki. They used a song in this that I've been wanting to use for a while, and when I heard it, I was like, no way. How does anybody else even know about that song? I wasn't too bummed though, I appreciate it. They did it justice. I really like that with everybody's profiles. I was even thinking of using this not for a snowboarding edit, but maybe a different kind of fun, short, creative film. I'm pretty sure this is all shot on film. It's a little darker, all black and white, which I really like the style of. All a little slower, putting more focus on the turns. Oh, that was a drone shot. They didn't film a drone shot. Oh, hold on, we gotta go back. Because I did not see that the first time I watched this. I think they made it all look like it was filmed. Most of it probably was. And then I think they got this one shot that they put. Like, that's a drone shot, you know, that's not on a film camera. They didn't tape a film camera to a drone. I like that transition, that was really cool. There's Nicholas, that tight posy stance. Yeah, his stance definitely changes the way his turn and ride looks, which is cool. I think I'm going to experiment with that a little bit more myself this year. Laying it back. I want to turn like that this year. That was a really crazy quick clip. Crazy butter. One night stand. I think there's a lot of spots in Japan that look similar, obviously like tight woods like this. And I was watching this thinking, man, that spot looks familiar. And then we'll see when they're coming out of this zone. It's exactly where we were riding around Yote when we were there last year. Not that all of it was filmed there, obviously, but it was cool to see. I was like, we have that same shot. Good feeling boarding. That's what we like. I have not ridden a Korua ever myself. Not for any reason, except I haven't come across one. Okay, so that shot right there, that's Mount Yote in the background, and that's when you hike out of this one backcountry zone where we were riding, which is kind of behind Rizutsu, if you're familiar with Japan and their resorts. So when I was watching, I was like, oh, this all looks familiar. And then I saw this shot, and I was like, I have the photo, the same exact photo from the same angle, as I bet a ton of other people do too. But there we go. Mochi Yuki. What do you guys think? I know the people that like Korua are dedicated Korua fans. Oh, and they were at Furano too. We were at Furano for one day when we were there last winter. We are working on a film that will be coming out next fall. We were planning on releasing it this fall, but we didn't quite have enough content. We had a great trip in Japan in January, but when we got back, for some reason I was kind of sick for all of February, and then we didn't have the best snow in February, so that kind of put a damper on our plans. But we're gonna keep working on it, and it's gonna be sick when it comes out. So stay tuned for that. We'll be dropping a little behind the scenes things on the filming process and some trips we go on for that. If you guys want a little more exclusive content and a look behind the scenes like that, you can follow the Shred Letter, which I'm dropping in the chat right now. It's our free weekly snowboarding newsletter. If you subscribe, it comes straight to your email inbox, so you don't have to go looking for anything. And we talk about snowboarding news. We have some interviews and upcoming events like premiere tours and things like that, so you don't miss out on fun things like the big air in Korua. We've got another big air coming up in China in 2 weeks. If that's something you didn't know about, you could find out about it by following the shred letter. And of course, for as many live events as we can, we're going to be live streaming them here just like this. So the next one will be the Big Air from China, which will be fun. I hope that's not at 3 in the morning for us, but if it is, we're going to be here bringing you guys the stoke. We got some more people in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from and what you're thinking of these videos. We got one more. It's a banger. We're going back to some street riding for this, but it's more of a street event. It is, of course, the DIYX STRT Jam, which happened, let's see, not this past weekend, but the weekend before in Stockholm, Sweden. You probably saw some clips from it. They had fire on a bunch of features. They had a ton of parties. They had Method Magazine's 30th anniversary party. A lot was going on. And when you watch this edit, as did I, it makes you want to like be there for that event. And I hope that's something we can get to go to in the future, if possible, because it just looks like such a fun time for snowboarding. Yeah, some gnarly slams too, like gnarly stuff. It's it gets you hyped in a different way, you know. Like I kind of put these few edits together because they're all a little different. You know, we got the deluxe street part, we got the Korua Japan turning, and now we're gonna have some like gnarly street jam snowboarding with fire and a bunch of other crazy stuff. So let's cue it up. Drop some love in the chat for any riders in here that you see that are some of your favorites or big tricks. But this is what we got from the DIYX recap. DIYX meets the streets of Stockholm for a weekend where absolutely anything could happen, playing host to an eclectic mix of the globe's top snowboarders and skateboarders who pulled up to risk it all for street jam glory. Prepare yourself for unrivaled carnage, flammable features, and sleepless sins. Ethan Morgan and Method Mag have done it again. This is it seems like a big weekend of partying that I think that definitely plays a role into how people are riding these gnarly features, like most definitely hungover and not at their top competition level riding. But let's check it out. It's a gnarly one. Here we go, DIYX STRT Jam. There's a lot that goes on in this, but I'll try and break it all down as best I can. It starts kind of slow, which you'll see, especially with the song, but it works. That was funny. That flag was definitely blowing backwards. Truth Smith from Capita, gap to front blunt 270. I like that. That was gnarly. This is at a somewhat of a legendary street spot that has been in a ton of videos. Slam right away. I think that was Truth. And now we turn it up. Oyvind Kirkos, he won overall. Switchback 270 gap, that was crazy. And then straight to a back 3 on, front 1 off. That transfer's awesome. 50 front. But that dude, Burton Rider from Norway, won the overall men's for the weekend. Patrick Hoffman, this kid has a lot of bangers in this video. And Austin Vid's had. I think Austin, Pat, and Patrick were probably close contenders for the overall winning. Annika Morgan, not riding, but driving in the car. Len Jorgensen, he was in Rome's Particle, which we watched last week, along with Maggie Leon, who we just saw. Tap off a big back 270. It's kind of cool. There's a ton of riders, whether they're riding or not here. Like we saw Annika and we got Judd Hankes. I think he's one of the first dudes to go up on top of that wall from blunt 270 out. That thing's big. Catching a little training. That was sick. Zeb didn't get it because he broke his board, but that was a really sick front blunt switch up. Joey Leon, he was also in Particle. Some of my favorite clips from Particle, the real movie, were Joey's. If you haven't seen that movie yet, Paul Benito, she got best trick for women's on that right there. This day. Rene, we didn't see too much from him in this comp. But yeah, if you haven't seen Particle, we watched it here at the Live at 5 last week. It's still up on the channel if you want to go back and watch it. That's sick. I feel like that's something I would have gone for on that setup. Clean back one. And then we got Fridge. He won best trick this day for the men. Ooh, little tail tap. This is the trick he won best trick on, which is so sick. He kind of did like a back blunt tap to switch up to switch front board, and then held it to switch. One of my favorite clips in this video. Licking that flame. I think that was Len Jorgensen. Bring on the fire. They love fire at DIYX. Like if you're gonna have like one of the gnarliest and just like chaotic snowboard events, you need fire. Makes for the best photos, best clips. And Darcy Sharp fell in it face first.
A1 STRT Jam, Stockholm.
Ethan Morgan, this is partially a lot of his effort with Monster behind him. And then we get some partying before day 2. So you can kind of see what everybody was getting into before like the heaviest day of shredding on day 2. Getting after it. I do have one qualm, and that's if you're gonna be planning an edit, like film horizontally, please, for the love of God, even if it's on your phone. They did have a little skate session, and Austin Viz really seemed like the only rider who was throwing down the most skating and snowboarding. Most of these other guys, I think, were primarily just skating. But Austin Viz, some crazy nollie 360 pressure flip happening. And then we get some more slams.
Nice helmet.
Austin Viz going down hard. Benny. He had some solid clips, but we didn't see too much from Benny. And you wonder if that's because all his best tricks were on film, or board slide down the stairs, love that. Or if people just missed it. But there's so many cameras, like everything got filmed, I'm pretty sure. Patrick Holmes. Cass Lemons, that was a great 270. That one hurt, dude. Falling on the donkey dick. And it was his birthday. And he had his baby there. Nick Punter, the only 50-50 that we saw through that challenge rail. Back 50. Dylan Hendrickson, the first board slide to make it through the challenge rail. It's a board breaker, and Fridge backs him up immediately after going board slide, breaking the board. That rail was gnarly. It was like meant to just eat up and destroy boards. Oyvind, men's overall winner. That was a wild hard way 270. He almost didn't get on that. All right, so it goes back 3 on front 1 out, and then switch back 3 on cab 1 out. The switch back 3 on is insane. Like, that's got to be. I mean, those are the tricks that, you know, helped him win this whole event. And we get some fire, of course, you know. There's no other way they do it. Light it up, baby. I love those tight, slow shots of the fire, especially on the Oakley rail with those little Oakley links. That's sick. So the rail wasn't actually lit on fire. They had a propane line under it. But that's, you know, they're pros. They know how to do it. That keeps the flame going the whole time instead of having to light it up, light it up, light it up. And we got some firefalls. Board on fire, hopping off the top. There's some not great clips there, filming-wise. Egan win. She won women's overall. Boyman, back one, still putting it down the whole time. That was like one of the gnarliest falls I saw in the whole thing. Face first to the ledge would be bad enough, but with fire on it, face first to the fire. And there we go. Boyman and Egan win, walking away with 2,000 euros each for winning overall. And then we had Fridge, best trick with winning 1,000 euros, and Paula Benito, winning women's best trick on the first day, winning 1,000 euros as well. Heavy. That's what we want to start the season. We need more events like that. Like weekend-long rail jam plus parties plus concert plus fire. We need some stuff like that in the States. Like, that's what used to make snowboarding stand out, right? Like, it was just crazy time, and I think this is maybe like the 3rd or 4th year they've done DIYX. It's always like some of the most fun clips to watch that come out of that event, and fun times. But I hope we start to see more events like this in the future, where it's just like, yeah, boarders getting together because boarding's awesome. I don't know. What do you guys think? Really want to get out to DIYX one day, just to watch and hang out. And like I was saying, you can see there's a ton of snowboarders that go just to hang. Like we saw Zach Hale, he was just hanging out. Rene, he dropped in a couple times, but Zeb, he was there. He threw down a few times, but they're just hanging out, partying, putting it down. Really, really fun times. Great video and music on it. Yeah, when I first watched it, the first song kind of threw me off, and it probably did for most people. Like, you're like, what is this? It's like so mellow, and I know that this wasn't a mellow event, but then they turn it up and get the jams going, which is what we like. Yeah, from here on out, we got a lot of new snowboard films to watch. So we'll be watching a snowboard film every week, every Monday here at the Live at 5. Like I said, next week we'll do Dust Box. We got some more. We got a video that just came out from Torment today, Paid Programming's Wishing Well, and yeah, a bunch of other films that I can't think of off the top of my head right this second. But stay tuned. Yeah, this is how we do it. Thanks for hanging out with us and getting stoked on snowboarding. The way our schedule's going for the rest of the season is Live at 5s every Monday, 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Every Wednesday we drop our Shred Letter newsletter. And then every Thursday, we drop our video of the week here on YouTube. This past week, we did a video on how to prep a brand new snowboard, like if you should wax it or detune it, or when you would want to do those things. It's a helpful video if you don't know those things. I think you guys hanging here probably pretty aware of how you like to get your new boards ready. And then this week, we're going to be looking at some boards from Jones's line and comparing them and contrasting them and seeing what board is made for what rider. Yeah, and then on Wednesday we'll be talking a little bit about preseason snowboarding and how the pros are training, like at Stu-By. That'll be in the shred letter coming up on Wednesday. And that's how we do it. We got a lot of fun videos coming out on the channel very soon. Some backcountry missions that we went on in the spring. Some of my most intense lines. One of them being Maroon Bells, which I was at today to film a couple proposing, which was kind of cool. It was all snowy and the bells were all clouded in. But yeah, we're getting rolling. The snow's coming, resorts are opening, and we're going to be ready for it as soon as it all comes. But don't get ahead of yourself. Don't be chomping at the bit and going gnarly and breaking yourself off before it's too early, because we're going to mellow into it. So we can have a nice, long, strong season of shredding. If you want to support the channel, we do have our latest SOS Search Snowboarding logo stickers available at the link that I just posted in the chat. We've got these smaller ones, which are nice for the phone or laptop or water bottle or helmet. It's nice to put them on the helmet. And then we have some bigger ones too. And yeah, you can represent SOS and be a part of our crew. Jeff, see you next week. My dude, big ups on the movies and content. Thank you, my dog. We will see you next week. And thanks everybody for tuning in. And until next time, we'll see you.